Let's see if we're live. Are we live? Yes. Well, I'm checking to see. I think we are. But I just gotta check. Yes. By the way, thank you, DV Moms, for the water. Yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Yeah, need water. Just getting ourselves all set up. How's everybody's day going? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. All right. Getting ourselves all set. Alrighty, alrighty. Okay. Alright. Alrighty. How's everybody's day going? Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Alright, we are live on the YouTubes, live on the X.com. Yes, sir. Live on the Twitch. Are we live on the Twitch? Let's see if we're live on the Twitch. Yes, we are. We're live on the Twitch. Yes, sir. Alright. Mm-hmm. Alright. Alrighty. Okay. Let's get the announcements out here. Okay. How's everybody's day going, ladies and gentlemen? Oh. Jose Benitez says, Mike's low in volume better. Oh, okay. Thank you, Jose. Thank you for letting me know, man. I appreciate that.
You're coming in too loud.
Good morning, Jose. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hope you're having a good day, man. Let's see here. Just getting ourselves all set up. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, how is your? Hope you guys are having a wonderful morning. Hope everything's going well. Hope you guys had a fantastic day yesterday. We called quite a few baggers yesterday. We did. Yeesh. Actually, DVO Moms, you want to get the list of the baggers we called yesterday? Yeah. Hey, yeah, give me that list, please. Yeah, well, I'm just setting everything up here. All right.
He's like gone with the wind. No. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah. While I'm setting up, we're just gonna read off yesterday's baggers and today's baggers as well.
Let me get this for you.
Yeah, because we did pretty good today and yesterday.
Because this is just a chicken scratch from what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think we called one that actually went up 1,000%.
1107% to be exact.
1107%. Excuse me. My apologies. My mistake. No, that was yesterday. That was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, it was yesterday. That's right.
Yes, it was.
That's right.
Yep.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes, it was. You see, I gotta get past the chicken scratch.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes. This chicken scratch and the tack.
And the tack. Are we live on the
Just trying to learn in paper trading. I want to learn. Well, we do have courses and stuff like that, Jose.
Yes,
we do got all sorts of good stuff, which we'll be putting in the link. Link should be in the description down below, but we'll also put it in the pinned comment section. Just a second. Good place to learn some stuff. All right. Oh, there we are. Okay. Yeah. That's awesome, Jose. I'm glad to hear it, brother.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear it. All right. There we go. Get Get ourselves set up here. Okay. All right. Still got the allergies, ladies and gentlemen. Still got allergies a little bit. So if you hear me sniffling a little bit, I do apologize. Just be like that. You know how it is. Oh, you did. That's awesome.
Very cool.
That's
going on?
awesome,
What's
Jose.
going
I'm
on?
glad to hear that.
Yay,
Hope
Jose.
you like it,
Welcome
man.
aboard.
Yeah.
Good to know.
1 second. All right. Got ourselves this over here.
Looks like it's gonna
Yeesh.
test over there.
BTOG?
VWAP test.
Oh yeah, it's testing the VWAP. We got it right here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yep, we're just getting ourselves all set over here. Alrighty. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's share it on X. Okay, good, good, good. All right. It's on X. Just gonna share it to here. Alrighty. Okay. All right. It's like, man, what trade are you most looking forward today? Honestly, there's normally just a bunch of trades that just come in. We actually called today and yesterday quite a few baggers. I mean, normally the trades I look forward to, me personally, honestly, it really, you just go by feel normally with this market. So at least in my opinion, I go by feel. So if I see something making quite a bit of money, you know, that's normally the one I'm looking forward to, the one that makes me the most money. But you know, it's always one of those types of deals. So, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, we called 9 baggers yesterday. Nine. All right, 9. Yeah. So we called SVRE 133, STTK 102, LXEH 107, ZBAO ZBAO 108%, SUNE 164%, MKDW 594%, CHSN 191%, BJDX 213%, and last but definitely not least, JNVR, which went up 1,107%.
You heard that right.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We called that one very early. I'm pretty sure we actually called that one days, like about maybe a day or two prior.
Yep.
Actually,
correct.
well, just before the weekend, actually, we called that
Yep.
on Friday, and then the week, Saturday and Sunday passed, and then on Monday, it just went ballistic up 1,107%. We called a couple baggers today this morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
So yeah, we got that going on. I'm gonna get into that very soon. Just getting all this good stuff up here. Just getting some information up here real quick. Just gotta share some stuff real quick and get the announcements out, and then I should be all set and ready to go. Alright. 1 second. Boom. Alright. Oh, Jose says I bought at 9 and sold at 32. Dude, that's awesome, man.
Nice.
Congrats, Jose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to hear that.
DBL Moms, clap it up for Jose, man. That's awesome. Congratulations, Jose.
Hi, Jose.
For sure, I made bank with JNVR. Yeah, dude. I'm glad to hear that.
Nice.
I'm very glad to hear that, Jose.
Congrats.
I'm glad, man. That's awesome. Congratulations, man. I'm glad, brother. I'm glad you made some money with that.
Yes, sir.
Hold on 1 second. Just getting ourselves all set up here. And putting it up on Facebook and Instagram. You know how Facebook gets, ladies and gentlemen. You know how Facebook gets.
Oh, that's Facebook.
Lord have mercy.
Facebook.
Facebook. All right. Well, we were.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, by the way, ONCO just went up 106%. Just so you know.
Oh, hello there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It just decided to say hello and pop in.
Yeah. That's what is what ONCO does. Wow. Oh, is it?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It just randomly shot up. Okay.
Yes,
Okie dokie.
sir.
It'd be like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. ONCO up 108%.
Yes.
Had some news that they signed a letter of intent for potential business combination with Ocuvex Therapeutics Inc. All right. There we go.
Yeah.
Jose says, that was my second bagger. First was ICCT, about 44 cents, sold at $6.02. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. That's excellent, man. That's awesome. Oh, 1 second. Just getting ourselves all set up. But yeah, congratulations, man.
Yes. Very nice bank.
All right. Oh, SXTP seems to be moving a little bit. It seems to be moving a little bit. It's like 30%. Nothing crazy, but it's moving.
Yeah.
It is moving. It is moving. It is grooving.
ONCO moving.
Oh, yeah. ONCO
again.
moving. It's up
Already alerted
115%.
in the Discord.
Yeah, we did. We
Oh, I
did.
sure did.
Uh-huh.
Sure did.
Uh-huh.
Alerted it at 14 cents. It hit 16 cents already.
Yeah. There you go, coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
1 second.
Say my name.
Mm-hmm.
Say my name.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes.
All right, 1 second. Just get up. All righty. Okie dokie. And Facebook's just being Facebook, so we're just going to start up. What's up, guys? It's Double Nicks, and welcome back to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nicks in the house,
Yes.
a.k.a. the Rainmaker. And I am here with my lovely co-host, the Serengeti specialist. She's in the high weeds, the tall trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she's on a jet ski. Sometimes she's on a regular ski. Let's say if it's snowing, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes she's got 2 cups of coffee. Shoot her out a cannon, she goes wee. Sometimes she likes RBs. What else? And sometimes she likes to watch videos of kitties. We call her DBL Moms.
Hey.
Yeah, kitties.
Wow.
Both were caused by none other than Coach Nick Money Team. Thank you. Oh, brother, our pleasure, Jose.
Oh.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your word, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate that, man. We work. Yeah, man. I appreciate that.
We all appreciate
Thank you so much, Jose. All right,
Yes,
let's
yes.
see here. Let's see.
Let's see.
I'm just still sharing this thing on Facebook. But
We've been
yeah.
doing this for a while.
Hey, look. I mean, Facebook takes like a long.
What can you do?
Facebook is like very. It's Facebook. Anyways, all right. You know, let's take a look at BTOG. Let's take a look at BTOG in the meantime. So, BTOG actually, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, before we do that, I almost forgot.
Before we do that.
I almost forgot to talk about our baggers, man.
Did you talk about today's baggers?
Today's
Yes.
baggers, yeah, I gotta
Do
talk about that. Yeah.
That's important.
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share. Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. We call a lot of baggers a lot of times. Ladies and gentlemen, you should be able to find our link to join in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section for $1.99 for a 4-day trial. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you.
Yes.
Yeah, we called quite a few baggers today, ladies and gentlemen. We called GLXG, and we actually made a video release of that last night. We released a video on GLXG, and today it ran up 195%. BTOG, we called that one. It ran up 161%. NAOV, 206%, and SVRE 116%. So
correct.
we have that going on, ladies and gentlemen. We had that going on. We were chilling, we're doing our thing, and of course, yeah, right. Oh, and we called ONCO, prior to its 110% run. Yes, sir. Almost forgot to mention that one. And then we had a couple of small runners, you know, little baby ones, nothing crazy, right? No baby ones. Hold on, let me just put this here. Boom. Okay. And then we also called a couple little runners, you know, SOBR 69%, nice. AREB 40%, NYXH 62%, FOXO 93%, PGHL 56%, and CYCU 75%. Yes, sir. All right, so we got that going on, ladies and gentlemen. We got that going on.
Yes.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys are having a fantastic day. We called those baggers. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. And by the way, BTOG looks like it's trying to curl back up a little bit. And so does NAOV. NAOV hit a nice high of 206%.
Yes.
All right, just curled up a little bit. It's curling back up.
Yes.
It's curling back up a little bit. So we'll check that out. SXTP, by the way, we're going to check out SXTP. In just a second. We are just getting our little bits of news and, you know, our pinned comment sections in a row. You know how it is. Yes. All right. Boom. Okay. All right. There we are. But yeah, we got ourselves all set up, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, thank you, Jose. Thank you for giving us that testimonial there, brother. Thank you.
We
Thank you.
appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
All right. So, BTOG currently hit a high of 32 cents. Had a bit of a double top here, though. That's something that I'm not a big fan of, so I'm actually going to draw over here. Let me get the graffiti pencil out. This little double top over here. Had a bit of a double top over here, but it did move up quite a bit. Boom. And it looks like it's forming a bit of a pennant. A little bit of a pennant. Nothing crazy. Right? Right, and it fell a little bit below that pennant, but then it started coming back on track a little bit. All right, and it had a nice, it's still below the VWAP, so it has plenty of room to potentially move. It was a bit overbought in the RSI earlier in the morning, a little earlier in the morning by around 6:50 a.m. It was a little bit overbought in the RSI. However, it did have a nice high at 32 cents per share, and I like that. That's good. So let's get some price actions ready to go here. Boom. All right. All right, so you got an absolute high at around 32 cents over here. Right? Then you got another high, another double top over here at 29. Got some more over here at 21. 18 cents, 17 cents over here. 13 cents, and then all the way down here at a little more than 13 cents as well. 13 cents change. Yes. All right. So right now this stunk it has a bit of a channel that formed over here. A little bit of a channel. Nothing crazy. Just a teeny tiny channel over here between the 21-cent mark and the 17-cent mark. It had a bit of a channel over here, so it's got to break through that channel. It's been trying to break through that channel a little bit. It has a bit of a top tail over here. We don't like the top tails, DBL moms. We like the bottom tails. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. BTOG had a nice run, 161%. So, hopefully it has a better run soon. Hopefully. We'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, let's check out another stunk. Let's check out SXTP. SXTP. Oh, and before we do that, actually, I almost forgot to talk about the news. This stock, BTOG, has some news that they had some insider buying in the form of a 6K. So they had that going on. That came out yesterday. That came out yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. So the news ain't as hot there, but let's check out the float. The float is 6.9 million. Volume is 136.65 million. So the volume is higher than the float. The float is pretty reasonable. Not a bad float. Pretty good float. I mean, an excellent volume. I like that. I like the volume. The volume is very good. So, yeah. So I like that. I like what I'm seeing there. All right, let's check out another stonk. Let's check out SXTP. 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 All right, let's see what we got going on there. Oh, yeah. All right. SXTP. Let's get the graffiti pencil activated over here. Didn't show much volume earlier today. Let me see the volume for this stonk right now. Yo moms, let me check the volume. All right, so the float for this stonk is 443.5 thousand. Now the float is a little low, which means that the price action could get a little sporadic from time to time. The volume is higher than the float though at 5.22 million, which is good. I like that. The volume is higher than the float. However, you got to remember, float is a little bit low, and when the float is low, it's a little bit sporadic with the price action, so it gets a little, a little iffy in my opinion. You know how it is, but it started off looking like it didn't really have much of a high float. It looked like it had some indecisive wicks as well, all the way down here. So we had an absolute low all the way here at $1.61, absolute high at $3.03. So then we're gonna go check this out over here. Had some support and resistance lines. You had one over here at 173, one over here at 1.8, another one at 184, another one over here at 217, another one all the way over here at 237. Another one all the way up here at 278, and then 303 over here. So, ladies and gentlemen, very sporadic price action for the stock, in my opinion. It does have good volume, and it does have a very low volume and a good volume actually, and a low float. Excuse me. So the float is low, volume's high. I like that the volume's higher than the float. Excellent, but this stock is very, very sporadic in my opinion. So for me, it's not a big fan of it. It did also have some history of being overbought and oversold. Is below the VWAP right now, and is just very, very sporadic. So me personally, I don't trust the stock. But it did have news. It did have news that 60 Degrees Pharmaceuticals, which is the name of the company, announced a patent license agreement to advance development of tafenoquine for babesiosis. Tafenoquine? Tafenoquine.
That's right.
For babesiosis treatment and prevention with Yale School of Medicine and Yale School of Public Health. So they've been collaborating with the Yale School of Medicine and the Yale School of Public Health to treat babesiosis with tafenoquine. So we'll see what happens there, ladies and gentlemen. And that does sound like some good news. They got a patent license agreement for it to advance their development. So that is good news. It has good news. It does have a low float, very high on the volume. I like that. It has all the makings of something that could potentially move up pretty well. Let me check the float and volume again, just to be sure. Yep, again, float is 443.5 thousand. Volume is 5.26 million. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what happens. Right now, it looks like it's trying to move up, and it just broke through the $2.37 resistance line, and it's moving on up. I like that. I like that it's moving on up, ladies and gentlemen. So I like that that's going on. Hold on. Let me zoom in the room a bit. Get the graffiti pencil out. Let's see over here. All right. One sec. Ooh, almost forgot. Stop right there. And then boom, right over here. Okay. All right. All good. There we are. Okay. So this stock right here did have a bit of a drop. Did have a bit of a. It looks like it's forming a little bit of a cup and handle. A very awkward cup and handle, but a cup and handle nonetheless. So we'll see over here. Let's check this out. Boom, right here. Boom. All right, a little bit of a cup. Moved all the way up here. All right, but we'll call it over here. A little bit of a handle. Excuse me, this line looks a little weird. Let me get rid of that. Had a cup. Boom, and handle. So it was a very awkward cup and handle, don't get me wrong, but it is curling upward. Again, the stock is very sporadic. This is forming a bit of a top tail. I don't like the top tails, DBL moms. I like the bottom tails. Yes, sir. I like the bottom tails.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like the bottom tails. So, we'll see what happens there. But, for now, this stock is meh. It has the makings of a stock that could potentially go up, but it's very sporadic in my opinion. This is just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's check out another stock. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, it is going up. It is going up. Don't get me wrong. It's going up, but it's very sporadic.
40% at $2.54.
Yes, it is hitting $2. Actually, wait. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. See what goes on. All right. Let's keep an eye on it. Let's keep an eye on it. See what happens. Let's see what happens. It is moving up. Nice. It is having a nice movement upward. I like that.
Yes.
I like that it is having a nice movement upward.
Yes.
It's just got to keep that energy. It's got to keep that same energy, ladies and gentlemen. Does have to keep that same energy.
Yep.
Yes. So let's see what happens with it. Right now, it's still got that top tail going on, that little top tail there. I don't like the top tails. I like the bottom tail, so we'll see what happens here. But right now, it's moving up. It is moving up. It just broke through. It broke through the lines over here. It broke through the 236 resistance, and it looks like it's going to try to test that 276 resistance line over here potentially. Could potentially do that. It is breaking upwards now. It's not overbought, not oversold as of yet. It was a bit oversold earlier this morning at around 7:50 a.m. Eastern time. So, you know, you got that going on. Yeah, sorry about that sniffles. I'm going to grab some water real quick. Water. Oh, yeah. Whew, that's the stuff. All right. You're like, oh, he likes water a little too much. Yeah, I know. I enjoy water, man. Anyways, right now it looks like it's dropping a little bit, though. Looks like it's dropping a little bit. Very sporadic. We'll see what happens. Again, it's got this big old top tail. Not a big fan of the top tails. I like the bottom tails. We'll see what happens with it. Let's check out another stonk while we wait for this one and see what it does. Let's check out another stonk. Right now, it looks like it's going downward a little bit. Looks like it's got to hold that resistance line over here. Has to hold the 236 resistance support line here and break through this 277 resistance for it to somewhat be schmexy to me. But for now, let's check out another stock. Let's check out another one. What else we got? DBL moms? Let's see. Let's check out ONCO. ONCO did have a bit of movement. We called it. It ran up a nice 110%. Let's see. ONCO. All right. ONCO did have a bit of consolidation throughout the day, but it did have a major price spike up over here at 16 cents. Let's zoom in the room. All right. Had some low volume and a couple of indecisive wicks earlier, but then it just had a major price spike over here. Let's get some support and resistance lines here. Let's see what the floating volume is over here for this one. This stock has a 8.05 million float, which is reasonable. The volume is 58.2 million though. So I like the way I like the volume. The volume is higher than the float. The float is reasonable, and it does have news of that Onconetics, which is the name of the company, signed a letter of intent for potential business combination with Ocuvex Therapeutics Inc. So they had that going on, ladies and gentlemen. They signed a letter of intent for a business competition. Yes, and it does look like it's forming a bit of a bullpen in here. Let's see. Hold on. Let's get the support and resistance lines here. Let's see what we got going on over here. All right. So we got the support lines here at 0.065 cents, 0.0682. All right. 0.766.
No, volume just dropped.
13.
Volume just dropped.
15. And then 16 all the way up here.
Needs volume.
Yeah, needs some more volume. Okay.
Needs to cook a little more.
Needs a little bit more cookage.
It needs to cook.
Needs vitamin V.
Needs vitamin V for volume.
Vitamin V.
Yes. All right. But The float for this stock is 8.05 million. Volume is 61.28 million. So we got that going on, ladies and gentlemen. We got that going on. It is a bit overbought on the RSI, a little bit overbought. So that's another thing you got going on. So we'll see what happens with this stock. Let's get the graffiti pencil out. It did form a bit of a bull pennant, a little bit of a bull pennant. So you go over here, pop right there. All right, have a little bit of a bull pennant forming over here. It has to see what's going on there. A little bit of a channel. It's channel time, DVO moms.
Channel time.
Channel time. It's channel time. All right, let's get the channels over here.
Yeah.
Yes. So we got the channels over here. In this little square over here, we got this channel. Bop. Actually, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this and make a better channel. All right. If I'm going to do channels, I'm going to do channels right, man. All right. There we go. All right. Got that channel going on. It has to break through that 15-cent mark over here. Has to hold that 13-cent mark as the support, break through 15, and then after that, break through 16 for it to continue to be spexy. Right now, it does have a bit of a top tail. We don't like the top tails, DBO moms. We like the bottom tails. But
really like bottom tails.
this stock does have some news. It has a nice catalyst to it. It does have a float that is pretty reasonable and a volume that is higher than the float, which I like. It's very high, so I like that going on. And the volume keeps creeping up a little bit, so we'll see what goes on with this stock right now. It is currently up. How much? How much is it up right now? Let's see. It is now up 97. It's not 96, 98%. It did have a nice high. It had a nice high that it hit at 110%. 110. Yeah, 110. 110. 110. Yeah. So it had a nice 110% run earlier this morning, a little bit earlier. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens right now. It looks like it's trying to curl. It looks like it's trying to curl potentially.
Trying to reach there.
Hey, but it does need some more volume. Needs a bit more volume. Looks like it's trying to test it right now. Looks like it's trying to test that resistance line. Looks like it's trying to test that resistance line right there. It's smacking against it.
15 cents.
All right, hit that 15-cent mark. It is trying to break through.
Moving, huh? Trying to break that 15-cent resistance. Huh?
Yeah, it's trying to break that 15-cent resistance right here. So it's like it's gently tapping it, man.
Volume. Come on, baby.
It's gently smacking that like his name was Akon. Let's see what happens.
Come on now. Give it some volume, baby.
Oh yeah.
Let's do this.
Oh yeah.
Break the 15-cent resistance. Come on.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
right.
trying.
It's trying. It's pushing. It's pushing up against it.
Yes, it is.
Can it break?
Not yet. Not yet.
It's on. Can it break? Can it break?
Trying.
Let's see. It's trying to smack it.
Volume drop.
The volume dropped a little bit. Oh. Oh.
Wah, wah, wah.
The volume dropped.
What a tease. What a tease.
Man.
Yep. Oh, wait, looks like it's trying to do it again.
Back. Hold on. Bottom
Hold
tail.
on. Hold on.
Has a bit of a
Please
bottom
hold.
tail going.
Bottom tail.
Bottom tail. There
Come
we
on,
go.
Bottom tail.
Let's see what we got going on. What we got going on. It's going up. It's dropping again. It's trying to fight its way up there though. It's trying to break that 15-cent mark.
We need a green bottom tail. Come on.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
All right. Let's see what we got going on. Because this stock, I'm waiting for this stock. I know when I turn my head, this stock's probably just going to...
No.
It's probably just going to
It
curl.
always happens, almost always.
No, normally when I turn my head, hey, watch this, watch this. ONCO, I'm slowly gonna turn around. I'm not paying attention to you, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna turn around, nice.
Nice. So just go.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's look
Uh-huh.
at let's look at the
See?
other stock. Yada yada.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do the other stock
That's
now.
what we are right now.
We're not looking.
I don't know anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like that.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Still got the allergies, but
Allergies.
yeah, the allergies would be like that. But it is above the VWAP. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this stock. Let's check out another stock in the meantime. Let's see what else we got. What else we got here? Let's see. Let's see here. What we got? BTOG.
We could do that one.
Yeah, we did that. We did that one already. We did that one already. Let's see.
That's it.
Let's see what we can do. All right. Got ONCO on deck over here. All right. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, we did call quite a few stonks yesterday as well as today. Again, we called Yesterday, we called quite a few baggers. We called SVRE 133%, STTK before it went up 102%, LXCH prior to its 107% run, ZBAL before its 108% run, SUNE before its 164% run, MKDW before its 594% run, CHSN before its 191% run, BJDX prior to that 213% run, and then JNVR prior to that 1107% run, ladies and gentlemen. It was crazy. It was wild. Yes.
Oh, hey,
9
guys.
baggers yesterday, and there were 2 that snuck in during the after hours. Yeah. Which was also things that we called. We called STTK and LXCH. Those snuck in during the after hours.
They
So
came a little late to the party, but they came in.
hey, they came. Better late than never. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
So, and then of course we had GLXG, which we called last night in the video as well as in our pre-market. We called that stonk.
Yes,
We did. We called it yesterday in the video released last night, and also yesterday in our early watch list. I'm pretty sure, right?
Oh, yeah.
We checked that.
And let me remind you guys, please share the stream if you like what you're hearing and you like what you're seeing. Share.
Yeah, be sure to share. Be sure to share.
DBL Bombs is going to be doing the news show soon.
Yeah, she's gonna be doing a news show.
Stock news.
Yes. She's gonna be doing a new show very soon.
Very
She's gonna be
soon.
creating the.
Probably today, right?
We're working on
Probably.
that.
We'll see. So yeah, we got the new show that's coming up. We got Pearls of Wisdom with Mama Money. We got that. We also got videos and all sorts of other fun things coming along,
Yeah.
and of course more live streams with yours truly, right? Because I know y'all love me. They love me. Yeah. So let's see what else we got here. We called GLXG prior to its 195% run. Did that video release last night. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let's see here. When was the first time we called it? When was the first time? Yeah. So we had GLXG run. We called it last night. We called it at 5:26 p.m. yesterday. On our early watch list, ladies and gentlemen, on the early watch list.
Yep.
All right. So we called it. Actually, no, we called it way before that. We called it. Hold on. Still going. Hold on. I gotta see. Oh, there it is. So we called it yesterday at 4:04 p.m. when it was at 37%, and then we proceeded to put it on our pre-market watch list for today. For this morning, and we made a video on it, and it ran up 195%. We called BTOG as well. BTOG prior to that 161% run. All right, and let me see. Oh, got to go all the way back. Yeah, there we go. So we called BTOG prior to its 161% run. We called that at 5:45 a.m. this morning. So we did that. I called it at 44 cents. Yes, sir. Or 44%, excuse me. 44%. So we did that. NAOV, we also called that one. NAOV, we called early this morning as well. Hold on. Let me get all the way back here. Oh, hold on. You gotta go way back for these. There we go. NAOV, we called this one at 6:26 a.m. We called this one early in the morning. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, be sure to check out that 4-day trial. That 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for $1.99, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to check it out. Where we pick a lot of beggars a lot of times, just like this, and we are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Gets the cash. I mean, you see them, ladies and gentlemen. We called 5 runners, and the day ain't even started yet. The day ain't even started yet, ladies and gentlemen.
Getting in early is what it's all about.
Yeah.
We got the scanners, we got the real-time alerts with AI, and humans.
Yep.
And we got real-time news.
We got some
You
news.
gotta have the right tools. You want to build a house, you need the right hammer, you need the right screwdriver.
Yes.
You want to get your plumbing fixed, you need the right wrench.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
You want to be a doctor, you need a stethoscope.
A stethoscope?
You want to be a lawyer, you gotta sue somebody.
What? You want to be a lawyer, you gotta sue somebody. Wait, what?
In other words, you need
Hold on, wait. I thought it was a law degree to be a lawyer. If you want to hire a lawyer to sue somebody, that's a whole different story. What?
Never bad. You just need the
What?
right. You just need the right tools.
Get that
folks.
$1.99
Get the
trial.
right-
Come on now.
Yeah,
Yes.
grab your
4
tools.
days,
Trial.
4 days at $1.99. Try us out.
Yep.
It's a no-brainer.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
It's a no-brainer.
See it?
It's a no-brainer.
Yes, sir. All right.
Yes,
SXTP currently 39%. All right. APDN, let's see what they got going on.
Let's see. APDN.
Let's see what
It just came up
APDN
on the
going.
scanner. I mean, it's not.
All
Yes.
right. Let's see here.
Yes, sir.
APDN just came in. Let me take a look at the float and the volume before I
Sure.
even attempt to do that one. Volume's lower. Nah.
Yeah.
Eh.
It's pretty low.
Former Emperor for the Emperor. Hold on. Do you guys trade off market also? We do. We analyze pre-market, regular hours, and after hours.
Yes, you do.
Former Emperor. By the way, your name gave me Space Marine flashbacks because I literally just went for the Emperor. Okay.
Yes.
My bad. My
Yes,
bad.
we are up before dawn, and it's nighttime. We're still doing this stuff.
Yeah. We're
Yes,
still
yes,
doing
yes.
it. We still got it. We're still getting it done, ladies and gentlemen.
Getting it done.
We still call them baggers from sun up to sundown.
Uh-huh.
APDN. Let's
Yes.
see. It's still got some movement going on here, but
Little bit
again,
more.
it's
Not much doing.
not something I'm really looking into right now.
It's kinda slow.
Let's
Like
check
a
out.
little
Let's
bit.
check out another. All right. We also called, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we called NAOV. We called that stunk. We called that stunk early this morning, 6:26 a.m.
Yep.
Prior to its 206% run. SVRE. We called that one as well. SVRE. We called that one prior to its. Hold on, it's still going. Because we called it quite a few times. We called it yesterday actually with SVRE. SVRE.
Oh yeah, we started that. There was our early watch list for last night, at the very least.
Yeah, we originally called it at 3:04 p.m. yesterday
Yes.
at 54%, and then it became our ninth bagger of the day yesterday and it hit a high of 133%, and then we put it up on the early watch list for today.
Yes.
We put it up on the early watch list for today, ladies and gentlemen, and then it had this nice run. We started calling it again at 2:58 a.m. this morning.
Right.
Because it was already, it was already on the early watch list and stuff like that. So we did that,
We look out
and
for
then
that stuff.
SVRE ran a nice 116%, became the first bagger of the day, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
First bagger of the day, and then obviously we got ONCO, which ran up a nice 110%. ONVO, yes sir, yes sir. So we did that. We did that, ladies and gentlemen. We did that. So right now, let's take a look at. Let's take a look at them. Let's see.
Let's see.
Because ONCO right now, it's trying not to be overbought over. So it's overbought. So it's trying to come down because it's trying to compensate for being overbought. So we'll see what happens here. But let's check out. But we did call ONVO earlier this morning. We called it this morning at. Yeah, we called it this morning right here. Yep, and then it hit 110%. So we got that going on. Yes, sir. All right. Now, let's see what we got going on over here.
Yeah. Let's see.
Let's see. Yeah, let's check out CYCU. Yeah, let's check out CYCU. Let's check that one out.
Sub VWAP though.
CYCU.
It needs
Sub
some
VWAP.
love.
Yeah, sub VWAP, but it needs some love. Needs some love. But CYCU does have news. Cycurion Inc., that's the name of the company, expands its partnership with Journal Technologies and secured $22 million contract with the state police agency.
That's
Ooh.
good.
So that's what they got going on.
Yes.
That's what they got going on. Let's see what we got going on over here. The float for the schnock is a little bit high at 11.88 million. But the volume is 39.78 million. So the volume is higher than the float. The float is a little bit high. And normally when the float's a little bit high, this price action is not as movie. It doesn't move as much.
It's hard
But
to move. That's all.
it's not like a bad float. It's an okay float. It's a little high though for me. A little bit high. But I'm not against it. I don't hate it. I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater, DBL Moms. I don't hate. Poppy don't hate.
The volume is pretty good.
Yeah, the volume's pretty good. The volume's higher than the float, so of course, the volume's pretty good. So let's see what we got going on. Right here, you got the. Hold on a second. You got support lines over here. at 43 cents as well. Got another support line all the way up, hold on, at 46 cents over here. Then you got another one over here at 58. Another one over here at 62. Another one over here at 65. Another one over here at 69. Nice. Another one at 75. And another one all the way up here at 77. And then 78 over here. So you got that going on. Let's zoom in the room, see what we got going on.
Yeah.
All right. Currently.
Let's get the views up to 500.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's share
3,500.
that stream.
Yeesh.
Share the stream.
On. Let's get over
share
here.
that
Let's
stream.
get over here.
Share.
All right. Let's get all the way up here. All right. So right now we got a stunk moving up. It had a nice move up all the way to 78 cents. Had a nice movement upward, and then it started forming a bit of a pennant over here. All right. Got a bit of a pennant going on. Bop, right there. Fell a little bit below the pennant, but then started curling back up a little bit. So also a little bit possible. Maybe. We'll see what happens with this. Maybe a cup and handle could start forming over here. All right. Little bit. All right. Maybe if it goes up a little bit over there, then we could have a potential, possible, maybe cup and handle. So we'll see what happens there. But right now, it's got to break that pennant, curl upward, break through that VWAP because it is a bit below the VWAP. Was a bit overbought and oversold here on the RSI earlier this morning. All right. Was a bit overbought on the RSI earlier, so it had that going on at around 8 o'clock a.m. It did have that little teeny tiny issue, so we'll see what happens there. But after that, it became not overbought, not oversold, so you got that going on. Float, again, is 11.88 million. Volume is 40.62 million. So we have that going on, ladies and gentlemen. We got that going on. All right. And, of course, like I said before, they expanded their partnership with Journal Technologies and secured a $22 million contract with the state police agency, which is pretty good news. The stock is currently up 43%, and we'll be keeping an eye on it. I'm going to keep an eye on it, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm gonna keep it on the side chart.
Side chart.
The side chart.
Side chart.
Yeah, put more oomph into that side chart.
Side chart.
Oh.
Up, 2, 3, 4.
What?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Side chart.
It sounds like drill sergeant stuff.
Yeah. Attention. No. Half right. Right. No. Okay. Oh. All right. Before I get smoked. All right. Before I get smoked. I don't want to get smoked.
Seriously.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's check out NAOV because NAOV is doing NAOV things. NAOV. Yeah, it had a bit of consolidation going on. I'm going to check it out because we called it earlier. It did have a nice run up, 206%. It's not as high as it was before, obviously, but we'll check it out. Let's see what goes on here. So, for this stunk, it had a bit of consolidation going on now, but it did have a nice run up, 206%. So I do want to take a look at it real quick. All right, had a low over here of $2.24 all the way over here. Bop right there, and then proceeded to break that 308 mark over there at the support line. Another support line at 574. Another one all the way over here at 424. And you got one right over. Well, actually, this one could no longer be that. Let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that one. And let's get rid of that one. Right, bop, right there. All right, so then you got another support line over here at 674. Another one over here at 745. Another one over here at $8. Another one all the way up here at $8.50. Another one over here at $8.67. Then another one all the way up here at $9.42. So right now it's breaking through the $8.52 mark over here. Has to break that $8.69 and then go up and break that $9.42 for it to be schmexy and hit a new high. It did have a bit of a history of being overbought in the RSI at around 7:20 a.m. So let's zoom in the room here. Let's see what we got going on. Let's draw some graffiti pencils. So yeah, it's got a little bit of consolidation going on. A little bit of consolidation. A little bit of consolidation. I mean, it did hit a nice high. It did a nice high over here. Very nice, very nice. So we got that going on. And it did hit a nice high. It moved up off this little line over here. Had a bit of a drop over here and then proceeded to create a teeny tiny ABCD, little tiny one over here, right? Then proceeded to go down a little bit, created a tiny descending wedge. Oh my Lord, have mercy. All right, there we go, bop. And then proceeded to go up a little bit more, and then, you know, again, down, create another another teeny tiny descending wedge, and it's been just doing that, and it's just been consolidating itself. So right now it's got a bit of a channel going on over here. Let's get the channel, little channel thing over here, the channel time right over Mia, between these 2 points, between the 858 mark and the 745 mark over here. So it has to break through that 867 mark for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. It did have a bit of a top tail though, a little bit of a double top over here. Nothing crazy. It hasn't gone all the way down, but it did have this little bit of a top tail over here. So a little bit of double top over here. So we got to see what goes on there. It's got a bit of a top tail, but could it potentially curl? Maybe. Needs some more volume. Let's see about the float. The float is 317.24 thousand. So the float is a little bit low, but the volume is 23.93 million. So the volume is a lot higher than the float. I like that. The volume being higher than the float is never a bad thing. Always a good thing. So
Yes.
we shall see what happens. Doesn't have any news though. Does not have any news. No big catalyst. It was a bit overbought in the RSI, but it is above the VWAP. So we'll see what happens with this stonk. We shall see. Can it break the channel? Possibly. I think so. It could potentially. I think it could. But it needs more volume. Needs more volume and all that good stuff. Volume. Vitamin V, ladies and gentlemen. Vitamin V.
Vitamin V.
Yes, sir. Vitamin V. All right.
Vitamin
So,
V is key.
yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching.
Yes.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that hell. Wow.
What happened?
I had a hiccup. Had a hiccup mid ring, man. Mid ring. I hate when it does that.
Take two. Try again.
Hell. Oh, let me get some water. Man, that was not nice. My chest decided, woo! Oh, no.
No, we're not doing that ring right now.
My chest decided to pull a Ric Flair. Woo! You know what I mean? No, can't do that.
Okay.
All right, let's try again. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share. Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to share.
Yes.
All right? And, you know, as always, we thank you guys so much for everything. We love you guys so much. We hope you guys have a fantastic day. All right? And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out that 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $1.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We picked quite a few baggers today as well as yesterday. We did. Today we called GLXG prior to its 195% run. Did a video release of it last night. We called it pre-market, as well as had it in our watch list for today, which the watch list come out the day before. So we had that on our watch list and also put up a video of it last night. So check that out as well. It's on YouTube. BTOG. We put that one up as well. 161. NAOV 206, SVRE 116, ONCO 110%. Ladies and gentlemen, we had 5 baggers, and the day's still young. Ladies and gentlemen, we could potentially get more. You never know. All right, but we also got some runners too. A couple little runners, nothing crazy. SOBR 69%, nice. AREB 40%, NYXH 62%, FOXO 93%, PGHL 56%, and CYCU 75%. So we got that going on, ladies and gentlemen. We got that going on. And yesterday we called 9 baggers. 9 baggers, right? 9. All right. So from lowest to highest, STTK called that one prior to its 102% run. LXEH 107% run. ZBOW 108% run. After that, we had
That's how it's done.
100. We had SVRE, which was a 133% runner. Then SUNE 164% run. After that, we had CHSN 191% run, BJDX 213% run, MKDW 594% run, and finally, last but not least, JNVR, which we were calling since Friday. We called that one since Friday, ladies and gentlemen. And then, you know, obviously Saturday and Sunday happened. You know, it was the weekend, and then on Monday it ran a nice 1,107%. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. Called 9 yesterday. 9 baggers, 2 sneaked in after hours, 2 snuck in there after hours. You know how it is. But today we called 5 already, and the day is still young, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is.
Day is still young.
It's not even 9 around here.
It's not even 9. Well, it's 9:17, but it's not even 9:30 yet.
Oh.
9:30, not even 9:30.
That's right. It's not even 9:30.
No.
That's right.
No. So, we got that going on, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, it's Double Nicks. I love you guys, and I am here with the Serengeti specialist, the one, the only, the Serengeti stock specialist herself, with her bushy tail and the high wheeze. She's in the low seas, in the tall trees, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she's got a jet ski. Sometimes she's got a regular ski. Sometimes she likes watching kitties. Sometimes she likes watching puppies. All right?
Right.
Sometimes she likes RBs. They have the meats. And, of course,
Sipping tea.
sipping tea.
I don't like tea.
You do like tea.
I like coffee.
Watching the sea.
Well, yes, you watch. Well, we already said the sea. We already said the sea.
I like-
Yes, we said the sea.
I like watching.
She
drinking
sips tea, but, you know, normally she
Watching
drinks
honey
coffee.
From the bees.
And she's sweet as honey. We call her DBL Moms. All right. And, of course, it's your boy Double Nicks. I love you guys. I'll see you
love
tomorrow.
you.
We hope all your dreams and aspirations come true. Make a lot of money today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and even better tomorrow. Let's
Yes,
make a
sir.
lot of money. Be greenable. And we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Much love. Peace out. We love you. Peace.